Hey guys, you're listening to the SpeakInC.O.A.D podcast. This is COAD, Conspiracy of a Dead Man, and I am sitting here in the red corner. I have weighing in at 200 pounds, soaking wet. He's tall like a string bean. His name is Chente from mi gente, Arizona. Chente.
Yo, man. What's going on?
And in the dark purple corner. What did you say? Dark?
I didn't say nothing.
In the dark purple corner. He is large, in charge, and sweet, and he will beat your meat. I mean, he will beat you into oblivion. And it better not be your meat. He'll leave the meat alone. His name is Theodore, the teddy bear Dynomeeete. Pew, pew, pew. Alright guys, you guys are going to be looking for, if you like that one, you're going to be loving this show. I think we're going to be talking a little bit about the dream state. The dream state. It's like that, Back to the dream state part, what I was getting at was, what if dreams are each line and link of the multiverse? For example, you have a dream and they rarely are similar or the same, right? I mean, like, you ever get back into the exact same dream? But that's if you just
have reoccurring.
You do have reoccurring?
I was about to say,
yeah.
Not in a motor, it doesn't happen as much. When I was younger, I would have reoccurring dreams. Like if I dreamt of something Monday night, and I went to bed Tuesday night, it'd either be the exact same dream or it would be a continuance of where I left off in the first dream. When I was younger, that happened a lot. Not in a motor, it's more like you said, they're more like
sporadic because of CERN.
Even if I even dream, because there's some nights it's just I'm out and then I wake up, and other nights I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Because of how weird the dream was.
Sometimes melatonin will make your dream state thicker and stronger.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Chente?
Well, I have recurring dreams. I mean,
okay.
They don't seem too far apart. You know? Maybe they'll lead me. Like, same thing, same place. But I'm doing something else. Yeah.
So I was going to say, you sometimes see it from your own point of view. Or you see it outside looking in like a movie. What if you were actually one of the lives from the dreams, and when the other timelines sleep, they tap into pieces of your life as their dreams, and vice versa? That's why they're mostly random and don't make sense to you. It would be like jumping into the middle of a movie and trying to figure out the plot with no idea what's going on. Or you sometimes do feel super close to people in the dream, like you knew them. Or when you do see someone or that has passed away, they're filling you in on how they are as if they never passed, or they did pass, and letting you know that they're doing okay or in one way or another.
Yeah, I can see that. And why if you like throw a punch at someone, it's like a pillow, because you're not really that person. You don't know that person, so you can't hurt that person. Yeah,
I've never physically fought someone in my dream. I've had dreams where I've like ran, I've shot, I've stabbed people, but I've never.
Oh my God!
I'm trying to remember. I watch too many action movies. Maybe that affects my dreams.
Yeah,
I don't like. I'm trying to remember a dream where I like legit like tried to hit somebody physically. I have dreams where I've restrained people, and now that we're talking about it, I can't remember if they felt solid or if they felt
liquid or gas.
Yeah, fluffy. Remember I said like it feels like you're. So, I have to try to like pay attention more.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, right?
Yes.
Like sometimes you do punch people and you're like, oh, like I can't, or you can't get away. Like you're running and running and running, and the thing's like right there, or somebody's chasing you, or you're chasing after somebody and you feel like you're in quicksand, and you're just like, I can't get to them, or I'm trying to like get to a certain place and you can't get to them. But that's kind of what my take was on the dream state portion. Because I talked to you about it the other day, and then I talked to Chente about it at work one day, and he was just like, "What?"
Well, because say again, Chente.
I was just saying, yeah. Yeah. Yay.
Yay!
Well, how you were saying my theory of Mandela effect aligned with the dream state thing, because how I think like the Mandela effect could be us remembering alternate timelines and alternate realities.
Mm-hmm. Which could also be deja vu in a way.
Could be, yeah. But not our deja vu, someone else's deja vu. We're remembering.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe we go, I swear I've been here before, but maybe it was either from a dream or the other timelines.
Good. Makes sense. Like they went along the same path we did, but they went left where we went right.
Oh.
And up until then, we was like, this seems familiar, and everything got like where we split and they went one direction, we went the other direction, is where we finally noticed that we've done this before.
So, based off of that idea and theory, I mean, people say there's multiple universes. But
where every decision has its own.
What if each universe is just a slightly different decision?
That's what the multiverse is supposed to be.
I know,
That's
but
what
sometimes you
Futurama said.
Yeah, but like sometimes I thought like the multiverse was like Rick and Morty, where like you could go to different dimensions and they're different aliens, or like you're an alien, or you're not wearing a pink shirt, you're wearing a purple shirt.
My understanding of the multiverse, like we'll use like me as an example. Let's say I lived my life the way it is now, but like let's say
you said no to this podcast tonight.
No, I'm going to go further back.
Oh,
let's say I decided to started training. I started to try train for cage fighting sooner. So now, yeah, and so my path would be over here. I could be in the UFC or Bellator right now because I started an earlier path, got more dedicated to it than starting to work and all the stuff I do now. Or let's say like even now, like right now I'm working at my job, but let's say we go 3 years ago when COVID started, I decided to quit and start a podcast.
Yeah,
we're doing now. And then 3 years later, like
yeah.
So my theory of multiverse is like there are like certain focal points in your life where you make a minor or major decision that can affect you in a minor or major way, and it all branches off. So, like, how like people have regrets or reminisce, like, I should have said yes to Sheila when she asked me if I wanted to go prom or asked if we could get married, and like my life could have been this way, but that way. The multiverse, in my understanding of it, is supposed to be like each of those decisions, whether you say yes or no, left, right, up, down, is all the branches of the multiverse is different points where you make the opposite decision of that major event in your life. And how your life would have changed. Like, there's some stuff that are similar and other stuff that are a major difference. Just from one decision.
Okay. That's almost like when you die, if you were to ask, well, what would have happened if I would have did this?
Yes.
He just has a web and he's like, right here. This is what would have happened. And you just see that whole...
Because the different yous are living those lives at the same time.
Or it's the same you, but it's just like, this is the path you could have taken.
Yeah, that's why they call it branches.
Yeah.
Because it starts at one point, and then, yes, I decide I'm going to take that cruise. No, I didn't take that cruise, and I went to school.
Yeah.
And then you go to school, my major should be business. My major should be telecommunications. Because they lead your life in different paths. And sometimes at the end, in like, even branches like circle around and like intertwine with each other.
Yeah.
So that the way I understand it, I'm not saying that's the way it is. The way I understand it is like there's decisions we make that vary from each other and split our lives into.
That's a very good point. See, I always thought the multiverse would be like, I mean, I put on a white shirt today instead of a black shirt. But I also was like, me with like bleach blonde hair, or like me as a black guy with bleach blonde hair, or like blonde hair, blue eyes as a black guy, or like me like I don't know, like me as you and you as me.
Exactly, because we could have been the same way. So it could be me as a fit guy.
No, but I'm saying like
I'm changing like you're my skin tone with your body. I'm your skin tone with my body, but I have your personality. You have my personality, or vice versa, and we're then like it could be that also.
Oh, okay.
Think about it. We're everything example I was giving was just me, but like if you stand back, there's been millions, billions of people throughout history. So the multiverse would branch off like so. Your mom instead of meeting your dad met John.
Yeah.
And so, like,
or it could have been reversed, where it's like where they say we started as caveman. Maybe we are caveman, but we came from an advanced civilization first.
Yeah.
Sorry, like going crazy. What about you, Chente? So like going to.
I agree with what TBD says. That was good.
Your mind is blown.
It is. Yes. Only like little things can happen. Maybe I could be
White or black.
Black and chilling right there with a white fucking TBD. Not fucking TBD, but with T. God damn it. You erase all of that.
Alright, start again.
Alright. I think what TBD said, and you guys, and both you guys, the little details, is I could be the one who never joined what I joined and who's chilling, doing what doing what TBD does. And like TBD could be over here in Avon chilling.
Yeah, married to 3 Mexican kids.
Yeah,
it wouldn't bother him. Does she have any cute single friends? Her sister's single.
Well, because think about it. Like there are focal points, because some people go, "Oh, if I went back, I would never have kids."
Yeah.
There could be an alternate timeline, alternate dreamscape, however you want to say it, where they didn't have kids, or they had more kids, or there was like a miscarriage, because there's things like that that change your path and the things you do. So it branches out different ways. And I think my thoughts on the Mandela effect is that some of the things we remember are from timelines where things are different, and then it bleeds into our timeline. Because I also believe that, like how you said, like our dreams are the dreams of other selves of ours. I'm thinking if you and another self are so intertwined, like even though there's like slight differences, like let's say there's a Samoan in me, a Samoan TBD in me, we're almost living identical paths with small interchanges, but like most of our lives bleed into each other with the decisions we make.
Like the same restaurant. Like you're like, I want Polynesian food today, and he's like, me too. And then like the next time he's like, oh man, I wonder if there's like, I don't know,
Burger King.
Yeah, Burger King. I don't want to be racist and be like chicken. You're like, oh, what's wrong with chicken? Nah, there's
chicken.
There's a Hitler chicken.
There's a Hitler chicken.
Yeah,
in
China. No. In China, they created one that looked like KFC, but it's instead of Colonel Sanders, it's Hitler. It's like a parody chicken place, but I guess they're really good chicken. Yeah. You said it, not me, sir.
Oh, but so think about like there's two different versions of you, whether they're different races, same race.
Yeah.
But like there was one major path that split them, but then the paths start to cross back over.
Yeah.
And then because of that major path, like so I remember it as Berenstein, he remembers it as Berenstein.
Mm-hmm.
And then when our paths cross and our memories intersect, we're both in our own worlds going, wait a minute, he's having my memories and I'm having his memories. There's a not best way I can say it's like a power transfer. When our worlds intersect, his little memories leak into me, and mine fill in the void from his memories. So now my memories are altered in my timeline, And so when other people go, oh yeah, the Berensteins, and I'm like, you mean the Berensteins? Because I'm having his memories, and I'm not aware that they're his memories because we're the same person, different timelines.
Okay.
That's one of the ways I see it.
Yeah. Okay. And then I have a video for you guys to listen to, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to be introduced into a SpeakInC.O.A.D production. Enjoy the sights.
Just to give you guys an idea, this is the Sam Tripoli podcast, the tinfoil hat. And then this guy will get into one more thing about time.
Yeah.
Time theft.
Okay, now this is the reason why I wanted to play this video, but that's not true.
Gotcha.
So this one is what I wanted to talk about with time.
Okay.
And time being that, I'll let him say it.
Look at the time theft that's taking place. Can you name me a place you go to and you see a clock with hands on it, which isn't digital?
What do you mean by time theft?
They allege that there's 24 hours in a day, yeah?
Yeah.
We're in the Gregorian year of 2023. Rewind 20 years. Are you able to do what you could do 20 years ago today in the same time frame? So, for instance, I'll paint a scenario. I would leave work at my place of business, and I would leave there at, let's say, 5 o'clock. I would make an hour and a half trip home. I would then eat some food, have a bit of a conversation with the Empress, have a shower, get changed. I would go and see at least visit 3 to 4 people, and I would be home by 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
The Gregorian year of 2023, I can only see one person, possibly 2 people.
You better eat that dinner quick.
Hold on. What are you saying?
They're stealing time. All we have is digital clocks, tablets, mobile phones, with the settings saying automatically update for the time zone change, summer and the winter, and you look at your phone, and depending on how many devices you've got, this is a test, and this will be a test for everybody. One of your devices, take that option off, and let's see when we get to the quote-unquote Gregorian New Year Eve, and you look at your time, the time difference on your phone. I've got a phone which I haven't updated since 32 minutes slower than the time it is now. 32 minutes, and we're talking maybe this phone's probably 5, 6 years old, and I've got a 32-minute difference.
To what? Do you have any suggestions about to what end they're doing this? What do you think? Because I agree with the sentiment that there's less time in a day. I feel that every day. But I'm just curious why you might think that is it just to keep us harried and frazzled, or is there something else?
It's to throw us off. It's to throw us off the natural
Yes.
the natural essence of who we are as individuals. Everything is timed. It's nighttime now. Like at the moment, it's pitch black. Right, so I look at my phone and it says it's 00:55. So I then go to bed after our conversation, and I wake up and I look at my phone and it says, "Oh, it's 6 a.m." And if it says 6 a.m., okay, it's time to get up. So I'm led by this. But if I get downstairs and the clock says, "Oh, it says it's 1 a.m. here," the phone says 6. That's not a digital clock. Okay, maybe I'll trust that one, because how could they manipulate it? They can shave. In my opinion, I think they're shaving off microseconds every other day or something, because it's just not adding up. It's just not adding up how we cannot utilize the day. The day is just going. I cannot keep up with the amount of work I'm doing. My business life, my personal life, the podcast. There's not enough hours in the day, and there used to be enough hours in the day. So you'd be looking, the 9-to-5ers, you get to work at 9 o'clock, and you're looking, oh, fuck yeah, now, man, it's only 10:30. Okay, I'll go on my break at 11. And you're just watching this clock, and you're thinking, oh my God, it's only 12 o'clock. Flipping out.
Yeah. I mean, something's off, right? It just seems
like the days are shorter and they're going faster, and then they tell you because you're getting older and a day is less time to you.
What do you think about the time change? You don't think that's really bad for us? How that one day you're just thinking they take back an hour from you? You don't think that really fucks with
I think that's going away.
I think that is going away.
People are fed up with that shit because we didn't need that even when they were doing it really. Like when when people were farming, as way more in this country. I hope that's gone. Get rid of that.
Those are some interesting theories right there.
Indeed.
Yeah, I can see how he can say that it seems like they're shaving off time from us and we're not able to utilize time as we should.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you guys remember, like, granted, when we were younger, you would go to a bar and stay out all night, get home, sleep 3 hours, and you're like, all right, I gotta work a full day. And you could do it. You might be groggy or tired the whole time, but I remember going out, like, on weekdays. Now I'm, like, in bed granted that I wake up before 5 in the morning to get ready, and then I'm out the door in, like, 30 minutes, or 40 minutes. So, like, that's a huge difference, too. My work schedule, but I remember, like, going out and being able to live off of, like, 4 hours of sleep most nights. Not most, but, like, some nights, and still not have to sleep in on the weekends.
Now you remember, that's still my life now.
Yeah, but, like,
still my life now.
all right, for example, I would go, like, let's just say I went out on, like, I feel like it's happened more recently. Like, within, like, the last, like, 2 years or something.
Uh-huh.
I never was able to sleep in long. When I was young and, like, in the summertime or something like that, like, not going to school, I would sleep in. I would go to bed at 3 in the morning, and then I'd sleep in until, like, 10 or 11 or 12 or something, But now, if I go out until, like, 1 or 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, I could wake up at 8, be like, oh, I don't want to get up yet, lay back down, and not wake up until 11 o'clock. Like, that's insane to me. Like, I just feel like that's such a long amount of sleeping that I didn't really need to do. But it's like my shut-off time is so easy, and it keeps me out longer. Okay? It almost makes me wonder, like, is this a simulation? And maybe the simulation portion of it, we're living in the game part, or the work part of it. And then they go to sleep after they go to work while we're playing this life.
Okay.
So
they're monitoring us while we're active.
Yeah.
And then when we're inactive is where they can actually take their rest.
They're the Sims. You have to put them to bed and go to bed. So that was my idea with the whole the time portion of it. Like, that was my time part of the podcast that I had a question. But Johnny, in that podcast, that same exact podcast, mentions how there's different things. There's slowly changing things that were a totally different thing to make the communication between us and our grandparents, so we have nothing in common. I'm just using this as a example. If you were to discuss The Little Mermaid with, like, you remember going to your grandma's house and watching, like, a Disney movie. I'm just using this for an example. You kind of could talk about what you saw in that movie. But now, say I have kids and they watch The New Little Mermaid, the story's different. They have live action. The people are completely different. Yeah. You don't feel like you could be that person. I don't know. How they were explaining it was a little bit better. I feel like I sound like a bigot.
Well, I think it's also on, like, if you let your children watch the old versions, because I have a niece and a nephew. Mm-hmm. I've gone back and watched Atlantis with them. I've gone back and watched
Atlantis. The TV show?
The cartoon. The Disney cartoon, Atlantis.
Oh, I never heard of that.
What?
Yeah. You guys have kids, kind of. Well, you do, but you don't.
Well, I grew up around a lot of kids.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Yeah.
But you remember Atlantis, right, Chente?
Yeah.
See,
I remember they were in, like, the Happy Meal toys, too.
Yeah.
No.
We have to watch it one day. Also, he didn't remember Paprika from Blue's Clues.
How you not remember Paprika? That's Salt and Mr. Pepper's baby.
I think I was too much of an adult by then.
I don't know,
Did
man.
you watch it with your kids, or did you watch it like as an adult? I mean, as a kid.
As a kid.
See, I
Back
remember
when Face was on Nickelodeon and Stickley was doing sports shows in the middle of the shows, like doing the commercials.
I remember Philomena Fly.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've actually watched it.
Philomena Fly would be the one that would go on Face. She was
Okay, yes, thank you. Okay.
that. I remember Eureka's Castle.
The
Yeah.
purple girl with the dreads.
No, man, that's Allegra's window.
Yeah.
You are right.
Eureka's Castle, she was tan with blonde hair, I think.
Did she
Yeah, and
feed
Magellan the dragon.
Magellan the dragon.
She fed them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yes, peanut butter sandwich.
Peanut butter sandwich.
Because
Okay.
I would always ask my mom, "Can I have a peanut butter sandwich?" She's like, "You don't want jelly?" I'm like, "I'm gonna have it like him," and then I'm eating it. I'm like, "Oh, I guess,
Maybe it does need jelly.
yeah, I can't swallow it. I need milk too."
No, man, you go straight nut butt.
Oh shit! Straight nut butt. Oh, I'll put that on the shirt.
Yuck. We haven't done a yuck in a long time. I need that as more of a soundbite.
Oh,
The other ones, yeah, I mean, like, shoot, I remember Gullah Gullah Island. I remember Eureka's Castle because specifically, I think I had like a puppet from like a Happy Meal.
and it was from the show.
Mm-hmm.
It was Magellan.
Magellan.
Same one.
Yeah, I had him and I think Eureka. I feel like there was another one. I used to watch Fraggle Rock. So, okay. Somebody asked me this the other day. They said, "What's the earliest childhood memory that you have?" And I asked them, and I was like, "How old were you?" I think he was 6, and he was like, "I had a reoccurring like nightmare. Like he had night terrors when he was little. Like a witch was chasing him in his dream."
Yes.
So then he asked me. I'll let you guys go. I'm not trying to like. I don't want to step on anybody's toes or make you sound like I'm lying, but I think I was 1. And the reasoning that I remember was because my mom had like a big rocking chair, a big wooden rocking chair. We used to have it down here. And I remember specifically, I had like a hat at bedtime, like a little stocking cap or whatever at bedtime. Yeah. And it was so itchy around the entire part that touched your head. And I would keep trying to scratch it, and I would knock the hat off because it would be so itchy. My mom would pick it up every time and put it back on, and I would start crying because of how itchy it was. So I would try to get it off. I would get it off, and she thought that I was going to get cold at night. So she kept trying to put it back on, so I kept crying over and over again because of that. And I'm like, it was so annoying. And I told her this just like a few weeks ago. And she was like, "You remember that?" I was like, "Yeah, it was like a white and red, like almost like it looked like a candy cane."
Okay.
Like a
stripes. Okay.
Yeah, and then it came with a matching hat.
Okay.
So that's my earliest, and I have a nightmare that I remember as well.
See, our brain does 2 things. It either blocks out traumas or it makes us remember the traumas to not go through the traumas again.
Yeah, I hate my head being itchy. That's why I shave my head most of the time.
And so your brain was like, "Hey, I hated this. I don't want to experience this. I have to remember this, so I can't let this happen anymore."
Yeah.
And so you saying that you have a memory from 1, I can believe that, because now if it's too traumatic for us, our brain does the opposite, and it just like blocks it out until something else happens that makes us recollect. Or, you go to therapy and they're like, "Well, what'd you do when you were 5?" And you start talking and you remember when the dog bit you, but your mind blocked it out and you don't. So yes, I can believe that. For me, well, actually, I'll let you go first, Chente. What was your youngest memory?
Dude, I don't know.
Come on,
I remember what I did this morning, bro.
You were watching Allegra's window, or you were watching Eureka's Castle in your onesie. Carne asada fries. How old were you when you had them?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Do you remember like I don't know, like a family event? Did you ever have like dinner at your grandparents' house or anything like that when you were little? Getting around like cousins or your other siblings?
Yeah. But I feel like it wasn't, I don't know, earliest fucking memory.
I'm weird too. I could remember how food tastes. when I only had it once at like 3 years old.
Okay.
At Snails.
But
they were cooked. And like with
I thought you were about to be like you were Tommy Pickles. You were out in the garden and you just grabbed the snail and tasted it.
That's just nasty.
Well, I know mine had to be like 4 or 5.
Okay.
I remember because it wasn't traumatic, but it was when I realized I didn't like dark spaces.
Well, that's racist. You said no dark spaces. I'm like, oh, then you said dark racist. I'm like,
the apartments we used to live in. This is why I say it's like 4 or 5 because it was like before or right after my brother was born.
Oh,
we were living in these apartments, and I remember the maintenance men were outside doing something with the sewer, and I wandered over and like, "What are you guys doing?" They go, "Oh, we're going down there. You want to go with us?" And I looked down in there, and all you could see was this infinite void of darkness. And to this day, like when people are like, "Hey, I need you to reach in that hole," I'm like, "There's not enough light in there." Right?
That's what she said.
Like I remember that.
Not enough light in there.
But I remember like the feeling of fear from like it looked like it was never ending. Like I could never get out of there if I went in there.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was like 4 or 5. That's one of my earliest memories.
Okay.
Other than that, like everything else was like school age memories.
Okay. Yeah. So I remember a dream that I had when I was like probably 3.
Okay.
3 or 4. Probably 3. And I used to watch Fraggle Rock when I was little. And do you remember the trash people? They lived in the trash.
I'm gonna have to say no because I didn't watch Fraggle Rock.
You didn't watch Fraggle Rock?
No.
What the hell?
I think I was watching like Magic School Bus and.
No, this is before Magic School Bus. This would have been like 91 or 90. No, like 89 or 90. Yeah. So anyway, there were these people that lived beyond this trash heap.
Okay.
And like these little Fraggles were like real small, and these guys were like giants. They're probably like smaller than us. Like they're probably only this big. But to the Fraggles that were only like that big, they looked like huge giants that would chase them.
Okay.
And they had a son that was like, oh, it's a Fraggle. He was like Chris Griffin. He was like just real goofy, and then like the parents looked like my neighbors, which freaked me out. And like real fat versions or something like that, like real creepy.
Gotcha.
So I remember having a dream, and I was like with the Fraggles, and those things were chasing me. And one grabbed me, and I like woke up, and I'm like in my parents' bed, like by myself. Like I guess I like went out for like they put me out for a nap or something maybe.
Yeah.
And like I woke up, it was like in the middle of the day, and I was just like, like panicked, like oh, I don't know, I don't know if I cried from having a dream or if I just woke up and was like that was weird. I don't know if I want to watch Fraggle Rock anymore, but I think that was like my earliest memory of like a nightmare. Okay. You know, and I mean, looking back at it, that wasn't really scary at all, but big things around it, and you're a little guy.
Yeah, I was like when your perception of what's scary changes as you grow.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean that literal and figuratively, yeah. As you grow as a person and as you grow in size, what you're scared of kind of just like changes.
Yeah.
Oh, but back to what we were talking about how you saying the divide. Where like what we watched.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say like some of that divide could be on us because like I go back and I watch those shows. I'm like, hey, let's watch this. And I watch it, and like my niece and nephew love Good Burger because we mentioned that earlier.
Okay.
We watch it too many times. Like I'm starting to hate the movie how much we watch it. But I go back and watch old shows with them that I liked and I used to like. So like, and there's a huge age gap between me and them.
Yeah.
So I don't think there'd be as much a divide because I shared my childhood with them. So I think some of that could be the government causing the divide. Okay. But if think about it, like with your parents, you talk about like stuff that you did when you were little, and you guys remember this.
Yeah.
But if there's another family that doesn't do the same thing, doesn't share, he's like, oh yeah, check this out. When I was little, we watched this show. Give it a look, see if you like it.
Yeah.
Then there's a connection there because oh yeah, I watched this because my dad watched it.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a wrestling fan, and that's because of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a family dynamic that allows you to share things, then when new versions and new shows come out, it's like, oh yeah, best show ever, SpongeBob. And I'm like, you, Smurfs is the best show.
Yeah.
So I do see the government possibly using that as a thing, but I think that also falls back on us as people on how much of ourselves we share with those we care about.
Yes.
So we can let that divide us or Because if you want to make a connection, like I know my niece is like 5 years old and I'm damn near 40. So like, what can we get along and watch? So like, oh yeah, you know what? Lion King, Aladdin, Atlantis, like they're directed towards kids. So if I watch them, they're part of my childhood, and I make them a part of their childhood, creates a bond.
That's true, and not to change it up too much, but like, for example, if I were to watch Walker Texas Ranger,
yes,
I would have watched Chuck Norris, but now they're watching Dean from Gilmore Girls.
Sam.
Oh, Sam.
It's Sam.
Is he Dean from something else? Supernatural.
Yes. Sam's from Supernatural.
Sam and Dean.
Yeah. Sam is tall one.
I know. I was like Paula Dean's less racist sister.
Thought for the day. Some of us pick and choose what's wrong and right, depending on who's doing it.
You guys just listened to episode 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. This is COAD, Conspiracy of a Dead Man. And I am signing out saying stay safe, stay blessed, and keep on questioning.
This is Theodore the homie saying deuce.
Let's just tell yo, I'm out. Pour some for the homies. Just as he say. Pew, pew, pew.